Greenwood parts ways with Man United. It's a statement that is official and confirmed by the club of Manchester United. Even the CEO of Man United, that is Richard Arnold, is going to have to issue out a statement. Then the other one that's going to have to issue out a statement is Mason Greenwood himself. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. As I told you yesterday night that it's today that we expect the final verdict coming in from Man United as far as their investigations for Mason Greenwood is concerned. And I told you that it's either he's staying or he's leaving, and finally a statement has been issued by Man United, and Mason Greenwood will never play for Manchester United again. So smash the like button close to 400 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as to see ourselves hitting 16,000 subscribers before the end of this month. Now, Manchester United were the first to issue a statement, and it read as follows concerning the Greenwood situation. They say, Manchester United have concluded their internal investigation into the allegations against Mason Greenwood. Our process began in February 2003 after all charges against Mason Greenwood were dropped. Throughout our investigation, we have taken into account the wishes, rights and views of alleged victim as well as the standards and values of the club, and we have sought to gather as much information and context as possible. To do this, we have to be sensitive and careful to obtain evidence that wasn't in the public domain, including from people with direct knowledge of the case. Based on the evidence available to us, we have concluded that the material uploaded does not paint the full picture and that Mason did not commit the offenses for which he was originally charged. That said, as Mason publicly knows today, he made mistakes for which he takes responsibility for. Everyone involved, including Mason Greenwood, recognizes that it is difficult for him to resume his career at Manchester United, so it was mutually agreed that it would be more appropriate for him to do so away from Old Trafford, and we will work with Mason to achieve that. So this is one of the statements that you obviously read and get to know that it's what we call a PR statement, confirming that United is going to have to part ways with Mason Greenwood. They never wanted to put out what we call scaring messages that it's all about United terminating the contract of Mason Greenwood. I think I'm going to have to reach what we call a mutual consent in between the two people, that is Manchester United and Mason Greenwood, and we don't know what the final costs are really gonna be onto this channel. But I can confirm to you that United are willing to obviously work with him to see that he achieves the best of his career, to revive it and obviously see what happens to Mason Greenwood. So let's wait and see how that happens. But Mason Greenwood has been really set to part ways with Man United, and finally he is no longer a Red Devil. For Richard Arnold, he's also gone ahead and issued a statement. It's a bit longer that I want to obviously read to you as the viewers of United Matters channel. He said, now that we have concluded and announced the outcomes of the club's investigation into Mason Greenwood, I want to be direct and transparent with our fans about process and the reasons for our decision. This was an internal disciplinary investigation between employer and employee, which would ordinarily take place outside of the public eye. Given the public nature of the allegations and Mason Greenwood's profile, I acknowledge that this was not an ordinary situation, but I felt it important that we still follow due process and for as possible and so far as possible avoid media comment until I have a definitive decision. When audio footage and imaginaries were posted online in January 2022, My feelings were of shock and concern for the alleged victim. Her welfare, wishes, and perspective have been central to the club's approach ever since, as have the club's standards and values. While we immediately concluded that Mason Greenwood should be suspended pending investigation, we were also conscious of our duty of care towards him and the importance of making a decision based on full information. Until February this year, this was a matter for the police and the Crown Prosecution Service. It was only when charges were dropped that the club discussed allegations with Mason Mount and others involved in the case. Our investigation sought to collect as much evidence as possible to establish facts and context. This was not a quick or straightforward process for a variety of reasons. It was essential for us to respect the rights and wishes of the alleged victim. Also, we have limited powers of investigation, which meant we are resilient on third-party cooperation. Timings have also been influenced by my desire to minimize the impact of the investigation of our men's and women's teams, as well as our lionesses. I acknowledge that this gave more time for speculation, but the alternative would have been to compromise due process or create untimely disruption. While we are unable to access certain evidence for reasons we respect, the evidence we did collect led us to conclude that Mason Greenwood did not commit the acts he was charged with. I'm restricted as to what I can say for legal reasons, including the alleged victim's ongoing right to anonymity, but I am able to share the following with you, which should give you some insight into the complexity of the case. The alleged victim requested the police to drop their investigation in April 2022. We were provided with alternative explanations for the audio recording, which was a short excerpt from a much longer recording, and for the images posted. The alleged victim's family participated in the process, and we were given the opportunity to review and correct our factual findings. So, he added on and said, last week the media reported that we had decided to reintegrate Mason Greenwood and the elements of a plan to do so that have been linked to them. Reintegration was one of the outcomes we considered and planned for. For context, over the course of the past 6 months, several outcomes have been contemplated and planned for, and my view has evolved as our process progressed. While the ultimate decision rested with me, I was taking various factors and views into account right up to until the point of finalizing my decision. While I'm satisfied that Mason did not commit the acts he was charged with, Mason's accepted that he has made mistakes, which he takes responsibility for. I am also mindful of the challenge that Mason would face rebuilding his career and raising a baby together with his partner in the harsh spotlight of Manchester United. Further, this case has provoked strong opinions, and it is in my responsibility to minimize any distraction to the unity we are seeking with the club. Although we have decided that Mason will seek to rebuild his career away from Manchester United, that doesn't signal the end of this matter. The club will continue to offer its support both to the alleged victim and Mason Mount to help them rebuild and move forward positively with their lives. Thank you for your continued support. That is Richard Arnold. So it shows you that Mason Greenwood might even be training at Carrington. Secretly, we might not know. That is because the CEO looks like he's saying things are not yet over. But we all know that this statement was going to be put out like a week back before even the Premier League really started. But we all understand that it was stopped because there was a reaction from the staff of Man United that some of them might even consider downing their tools and strike if at all Mason Greenwood was reintegrated into the team of Man United. So the decision has been put out. Mason Greenwood parts ways with Manchester United. And as I told you, that is what we call PR. PR will never tell you exactly what the club is saying, but they try to put up a set of words and statements that obviously try to show that they are still in good terms with the player. But the fact is, there is no way these two are really going to reunite at Manchester United. Now, I want to read you the statement from Mason Greenwood and what it really read in this particular time. This is the statement of Mason Greenwood and what it read. Mason said, I want to start by saying I understand that people will judge me because of what they have seen and heard on social media, and I know people will think the worst. I was brought up to know the violence or abuse in any relationship is wrong. I did not do the things I was accused of, and in February I was cleared of all charges. However, I fully accept I made mistakes in my relationship, and I take my share of responsibility for the suitors which led to the social media post. I am learning to understand my responsibilities to set a good example as a professional footballer, and I'm focused on big responsibility of being a father as well as a good partner. Today's decision has been part of a collaborative process between Man United, my family and me. The best decision for us all is for me to continue my football career away from Old Trafford, where my presence will not be a distraction for the club. I thank the club for their support since I joined at the age of 7. There will always be part of me which is united. I'm enormously grateful to my family and all my loved ones for their support, and it's now for me to repay the trust those around me have shown me. I intend to be a better footballer, but most importantly, a good father, a better person, and to use my talents in a positive way on and off the pitch. So, this is another confirmation that Mason Greenwood is also convinced that him and Man United are really done and dusted. No turning back and no turning heel. So, that is it coming from Manchester United. Greenwood has parted ways with Man United totally. Richard Arnold confirming that, and everyone coming into obviously putting in what we call a shift for this club of Manchester United. So guys, thank you very much for watching it through. Tell me your thoughts about Greenwood parting ways with Man United. What are your thoughts about it? And thank you for always keeping it United Matters channel. I know some of you are really going to be bothered and others are not going to be bothered, but the fact has been put out by the club of Man United, them and Mason Greenwood, and no more. So I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. And see you in the video, as lots of stories concerning Mason Greenwood are really flowing in. And tell me also in the comment section, what destination do you think Greenwood is heading to? I'm out. Bye bye.